Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We've got a Retribution in the Cold Iron skin, ready to take on some T2 Abyss. This fit here is what I call the dummy proof Retribution for T2 Abyss. Very likely is not dummy proof for many people. I mean, many times I make fits and to me they seem as clear as crystal to be able to be used in the Abyss, but then people use them and they don't turn out too well. And it's for multiple reasons. One is perhaps people do not know how to fly the ship properly. Two is that people perhaps do not have good skills trained on their character. There's just a big note here. My character that I'm using to fly this has got pretty much max skills, like not max, but almost max. Like specialization is level 3, but otherwise almost max. So it's not like any kind of alpha clone or anything like that. This ship can't even be used by alpha clones, but it's not like any low tier kind of skills we're using here. I have to be in a fleet to be able to use these T2 solo as a frigate. I just felt like doing some tests here because I have tested this fit out quite a bit before. I felt like I needed just a bit more testing, and I wanted to see if I can just casually just jump into the T2 Abyss and make it feel good. I still have not encountered any waves that are remotely difficult, and I'm actually even considering to perhaps try in a future test see if we can opt in for some extra damage. See here, just go here, just taking full damage from these rats. Can't even just do my abyss sight. Scrubby rats, battleship just unloading everything on me before I can even go into the abyss. I'm thinking we could perhaps replace one of these modules and have 2 damage modules. This stuff can go quicker. Okay, give us a bit of tank, please. There we go, and jump straight in. The Retribution loves to jump straight in, it's his specialty. Apologies guys if I might sound a little bit depressed, or I might sound a little bit lower tone, not as energetic tone as I have in the past. I just thought about this because I was watching my old videos from a couple of years ago, and I noticed that my tone of my voice was so much more energetic back then. It was much more energy, and it's nothing that I explicitly try to do because I think it's very important not to be fake. You know, you don't want to just put fake energy. I don't think that's at all a good idea. I always try to be genuine how I react to stuff around you guys. Maybe hype it up a little bit because that's how I feel about the stuff I do. But I was just really surprised what has happened. But it probably is because nowadays I usually have a lot more work to do, family and that kind of stuff, a lot less free time, a little bit less sleep than I used to do. Usually I play late in the evening after I've done everything that I'm supposed to do that day. I really like to get everything done first and then play later. Previously I used to have a lot more off days occasionally, and for a couple of years ago I used to have a little bit more free time, and then I would probably play Eve in the morning on those free days. Well, I often like to play Eve after breakfast, and usually for breakfast I have coffee with my breakfast. So that's probably why a lot of people used to think that, some people even say nowadays, but I've noticed that a lot more comments I received back in the day was that Aceface, you're like on drugs. It's probably because I had just drunk coffee, so I was very, very energetic, because a lot of the times my videos used to be, a couple of years ago, a couple of years ago, was made directly after breakfast. That's my favorite time to play EVE Online, because I felt like I felt very energetic around that time, and it felt really nice to be able to play and then also show you guys something interesting. So that's an explanation. If anyone was a bit curious why I might sound a little bit less energetic nowadays, it's nothing explicitly. I'm not depressed and that I'm not unhappy. In fact, I would probably say I'm more happy than ever right now. And I also think that just because tired, a lot of work, a lot of different time of the day I'm usually playing. Oh, this Retribution, man, so good. I just jump straight in. I'm not even thinking. I'm talking about my life. I'm orbiting these guys. I'm not even thinking, and we just take them out. Leshaks now are not usually particularly difficult, but still, this thing is an absolute boss in terms of its tank. I'm using the Cold Iron skin. I haven't used the Cold Iron skin much on the Retribution because I've always felt that it looks good on the Purifier, but not so much the Retribution. But it actually doesn't look too bad in my opinion on the Retribution. It looks actually quite stealthy and cool. Oh, these guys are not nice. We want to orbit this guy maybe 10 kilometers. Use a bit of Scorch on him. What is our range here? 70 kilometers. Just take out these little associated frigates, that'll be good. Great, and then take out this one. Is that possible? So we will be at this guy at the border of Scorch range. Maybe 15 kilometers will be better. Because I think 10 kilometers is unnecessarily close. Because we've got 17 kilometer optimal on this ammunition type, so we're still going to do maximum damage at 17 kilometers. It's way too close for comfort to be able to use conflag on this guy. I think on the blast grip we might be able to, because look at our look at our explosive resist. So I think we will be able to actually orbit with the conflag on the blast grip, but not on the spark grip, unfortunately. That was a good thing about the beam retribution, is that here you could actually use multi-frequency, because beams just have so much more natural range than pulses, so you can even use the quote-unquote close range ammunition at relatively long range when it comes to the long range of pulse lasers. Yeah, this cold iron skin I think actually looks really cool. Might use this more often. Okay, now we go in and do a little bit of risky business with the conflagration. Now we should be able to get around without getting a ton of grazing shots. Oh, we're getting a ton of grazing shots. We need to stop the speed a bit, because we're going too fast to be able to hit properly. Now we're going to take a bit of damage, but I think it's alright. Yeah, look, now we're getting smashing and penetrating shots. That's great. We're on the test server. My character is in an L5 mission system right now, so he's holding out for a bit. Can't really do the retribution runs when my character is tucked away in low sec, so that's why we're here. And there's no real reason for us to grab this loot, but I just thought we can just do it anyway, because we'll be able to see how quickly this retribution is able to pick up stuff, and it's not as tedious as when you've got a cruiser, because you're so quick with this MWD in retribution. Open this up, and I overshoot so often to the overshoot these wrecks occurs. 2 million. Not a whole lot of loot. Like when I was complaining a lot about the Zealot being bad in T4 Abyss, thinking, oh, the T2 Retribution is so much better. And it is quite good, the T2 Retribution, but I noticed here that oftentimes it will not be as good as the Zealot. But it might feel worse just because the actual numbers in these caches are lower. But I don't think the difference is as big as I actually think, because I'm always having to minus 7 million from the filament cost in the T4s. Let's go for the neuter. I think he's going to be a bit annoying. I can get that loot first. Grab that. Ooh, that's some mutaplasm. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, let's orbit this guy real close. 2.5. Can use a bit of conflag on him as well. And it's good that we turn the MWD off, because then we're going to use less capacitor as well, so a win-win situation. Only issue is that we go a bit slower, and actually Retribution is pretty good at using MWDs, because it's got that like reduced signature radius penalty. Oh, we're getting kited without the MWD. We need to get a bit closer. Just approach him. Approach this scrub. Like, look how powerful this ship is. Able to face tank all these guys. With the webs as well, with the webs. Not just like anyone, but just with the webs. We're that good in this Retribution. I mean, we could have more DPS, we'll lose a bit of tank, but if you were to blink the tank a bit more, you could possibly have more DPS here. I mean, these Lucid Watchmen, they do quite a bit of damage. They apply pretty well to frigates. And they also do an optimal damage type. Here, we've got reduced EM resist. They do quite a bit of EM damage, so they're definitely deadly waves, these Lucid guys. And when I'm using kiting Retribution, I really have to be on my toes when I'm against them, because if I jump in or get a wrong angle, then I'm going to take a ton of damage. Here, doesn't seem like I really have to care at all, actually. They're really smooth, I like this. Just approach and that's it. And I've previously tried Retribution fits with pulses and afterburn, and afterburn felt really bad, because you have to get close to be able to use the pulses efficiently. Otherwise you're going to be spending so much time moving about. But here with the MWD, you just get in range so quickly, it's no problem. And I also love using the MWD on the Retribution, because you get that signature radius penalty reduction. So you're like utilizing the ship's capabilities more by going with an MWD. I like the idea. Okay, now to the last one. A quick T2 Electric Abyss. Very quick in the Retribution. Okay, it's not super quick, 10 minutes, but solo frigate style. Not too bad. Destroyed. Okay, go to the origin conduit now. We netted, let's see how much ISK we netted. Okay, so it was not particularly good mutaplasmids. I thought it was good because I saw mutaplasmid, but that was actually just a decayed one, which is worth nothing. Got 9 million. Okay, so 9 million. It's not a whole lot, but something. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's enough for now. T2 dumb improved Retribution. A really, really great ship in my opinion. Not super fast, but it's still not super slow either. Does the T2s really smoothly, and I've had no issues with it whatsoever. Please let me know in the comments if you do have issues with certain waves. I'm very curious to know, because there perhaps could be ways to tackle it with different parting techniques, or maybe that your character has not got enough skills. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something new. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.